Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. So the last update about Unfortunate Love was how Lakshmi finally decided to return to the Oberoi house after Ayush begged her to come back to Rishi and to the Oberoi house. And Malishka vows to kill Lakshmi if she returns to the house. So this update is about how Lakshmi finally goes back to the Oberoi house. So keep on watching to find out. After Rishi hears that Lakshmi is coming back to the Oberoi house, Rishi wears the jacket that Lakshmi bought for him some times ago, and he says that he is looking handsome in this jacket given by Lakshmi, and he gives her a flying kiss as he imagines Lakshmi in the mirror. He says her gifts are special always, but he sees Malishka standing there and smiling at him. Malishka asks Rishi that what happened. She asks that why did he give her a flying kiss when she is here, and says I will give you a good morning kiss. Rishi says the door is open. What will anyone think if they see us? Malishka says we are getting married, so what will anyone think? And Rishi says I am not comfortable with it. Malishka says okay and says you are ready yourself. Now we can go on honeymoon. And she asks Rishi not to get uncomfortable. She asks about the jacket and asks that whose choice is this? Is it Neelam's auntie's choice or your choice? Rishi says it is of Lakshmi's choice and it is good. Malishka gets upset and says to Rishi that you are saying this proudly and says you cannot wear this. She says Lakshmi has gone away from here and she is your past, and she asks Rishi to take off the jacket. Rishi says you were praising the jacket some time back and says he will not take it off. Malishka says fine, and she takes out a scissors to cut the jacket, but Rishi throws the scissors away and tells her that he will not take the jacket off. He says there is a difference in you and Lakshmi, and says whatever Lakshmi does is for my happiness, and whatever you do is for your own happiness, and that is why I couldn't forget Lakshmi, because Lakshmi is special, and it turns out to be Malishka's imagination. Malishka asks Rishi that what did you say, and whose choice is this jacket? Rishi says it is Lakshmi's choice and he goes away from there. Malishka thinks to be quiet, and she thinks that she have to play smartly, but she will make Rishi remove the jacket. Everyone comes to the dining table. Karishma asks Rishi to come for breakfast, and Rishi says I will come after some time. Malishka comes and sits, asking Mukesh to serve the food. The doorbell rings. Rishi opens the door excitedly, thinking that Lakshmi is here, but he sees a courier guy. He receives the package and sits on the sofa. He thinks that his mind has stopped working as Lakshmi is going to come today, and he is happy. Karishma asks Neelam to see smile on Rishi's face, and she asks if Rishi is waiting for someone. Neelam says I don't know. Ayush comes to Rishi and asks him to come for breakfast. Rishi asks Ayush to have breakfast and says I'm waiting for someone. The doorbell rings again and Rishi again excitedly opens the door, but he sees Grandma coming instead of Lakshmi and he is disappointed. Grandma says today, my son opened the door for me. Karishma says Rishi was waiting for mom, Grandma. Malishka asks that, but why will Rishi be really excited while waiting for Grandma? Rishi thinks that when will she come? He thinks that he doesn't know when she will come. Ayush asks Rishi that what is the matter? Rishi asks Ayush when Lakshmi is coming, and Ayush pretends and asks if Lakshmi is coming. Rishi says to Ayush that I heard Dad and you talking that Lakshmi is coming. Ayush says Lakshmi will not come because she refused. Rishi asks Ayush not to say this. Ayush says what do I do? Rishi asks if Ayush is saying the truth. Ayush says we cannot force Lakshmi, and he asks Rishi to come and have food. Mukesh comes to the dining table. Malishka intentionally makes Mukesh fall on Rishi, and the tea falls on Rishi's hand. She then scolds Mukesh for his carelessness. Neelam asks Rishi to go and change the jacket, and Rishi goes, while Malishka smiles. Malishka thinks that she should play smartly and she will win, so that she can make Rishi go away from Lakshmi forever. Just then, Lakshmi comes there and Grandma says Lakshmi. Virendra and Grandma get up. Neelam, Ayush, Karishma and others also get up from their chairs. Malishka gets angry seeing Lakshmi. Lakshmi touches Virendra and Grandma's feet. Ayush thinks that where is Lakshmi's bag? And he thinks that just as Lakshmi came in now, then her bag would also come in later. Karishma asks Lakshmi that why did she come here when she had written a letter before leaving that we should not look for you. Malishka says to Lakshmi that there is no reason to return, so go back to your house. Neelam asks Lakshmi that why did she dare to come here when she have no relationship here, and she asks her to get lost. Neelam says to Lakshmi that I can never think that your self-respect can end and you can come back here shamelessly. Virendra asks Neelam that what are you saying, and says Lakshmi is my daughter and she can come here at any time, so don't insult her. Lakshmi says they don't know why I have come here because some of them want me to return and some don't want me to come here, but I brought something. Lakshmi says to everyone that I brought sweets because Rishi and Malishka's marriage is fixed. Malishka says it doesn't matter. You came to my house as a guest, so you will be respected as a guest. Malishka calls Mukesh and asks him to bring juice for their guest, and Neelam and Karishma smiles, hearing Malishka insulting Lakshmi. Grandma asks Malishka if she is done with the insult. She says it is our values and it is Lakshmi's values that she did not say anything in reply. Grandma asks everyone to be quiet and she asks Lakshmi to come inside and sit. Lakshmi says I will not sit. She says Ayush has come to convince me to come, so I thought to come and I brought sweets. Lakshmi says to everyone that she wanted to congratulate Rishi and give him sweets, but only if all of their permission is there. Malishka says no and says that she will give the sweet to Rishi by herself. Neelam asks Lakshmi if Rishi knew that she will be coming. Lakshmi says no and says only Ayush knows about her coming. Malishka asks Lakshmi to go out, but Grandma asks Lakshmi to go and make Rishi have the sweet in the room, and she asks her to end this hope too. Lakshmi is going to Rishi's room. Rishi is in his room and he says he has a feeling that Lakshmi is near him. He says Lakshmi had refused to come, but she is in my illusion. Lakshmi comes there and hears Rishi. Rishi thinks that he is imagining Lakshmi again. Lakshmi says Rishi. Rishi says I am imagining Lakshmi on a solid level now and says Lakshmi is even talking in my imagination. Lakshmi asks Rishi that what happened. Rishi says you are even talking and he asks if she have come in reality. Lakshmi says yes and says I have come in reality and Rishi is shocked. Rishi hugs Lakshmi and says it seems like his breath has stopped when she left from here, but now he is happy that she is back. Karishma asks Grandma that why did you send Lakshmi to Rishi? Grandma asks if Lakshmi would elope with Rishi and if Rishi would not stop her from eloping with him. Malishka says to Grandma that seeing Rishi's past record with Lakshmi, then anything can happen. Grandma says let anything happen, then it will be proved if Rishi loves you or if he loves Lakshmi. Malishka asks that what do you want to say? Grandma says that if Rishi is yours, then he will be with you, and she asks Malishka not to doubt Rishi and Lakshmi. Ayush thinks that I thought that Lakshmi has come back to stay, but she is ending his hopes. Malishka says it is natural to react this way because she is Lakshmi who trap people and does conspiracies. Grandma asks Malishka to think 100 times before talking bad about Lakshmi. She says Lakshmi is not that type of a girl because of whom you should doubt, so think before you talk. Karishma says to Grandma that Malishka is the daughter-in-law of the house. Grandma says Lakshmi is my daughter. Karishma says the house piece is gone just as Lakshmi came back here. Ayush asks Virendra to come to Grandma's room and Virendra goes with him. In the room, Lakshmi drops the sweet box and hugs Rishi. Rishi asks Lakshmi not to leave him and be with him always. He gets teary eyes. Lakshmi also has teary eyes and a song plays in the background. Lakshmi tells Rishi that she has come to tell him to leave the hope of her return. Rishi says I was waiting for you, that you will come back to me. He asks that why are you punishing me and for what sin? He says I did wrong with you and I married you for betrayal. I have hurt you a lot, but I love you now and I cannot live without you. Lakshmi says to Rishi that life doesn't end if someone is not in your life. Rishi says it happens with me. If you are with me, then my life is set, else it will be ruined. He says I have set the blanket, the vase and your favorite curtains just like the way you like it. He says I want you to be near my heart always, and he shows the paper flower that Lakshmi has given to him. Rishi says to Lakshmi that I have kept everything safely, whatever you have given to me, your memories, and says I will not live without you. Lakshmi says you have to live for your family and for Malishka. Rishi says I will live for you. Lakshmi says live for yourself, and Rishi looks on. Downstairs, Grandma says Lakshmi had come here to break our hopes because she will not come back, and she thinks if Lakshmi did right to come here and break their hopes. Ayush and Virendra comes there. Ayush says I thought that Lakshmi is returning to stay here, but she said that she returned so that she doesn't return. Virendra says we have to stop Lakshmi anyhow, and he asks if they have any idea. Lakshmi asks Rishi to forget her and think that she has never come into his life ever. Rishi says humans can forget to take breath and they can forget their heartbeats, but my life is nothing without you. He says life is not just to spend it, and says I will die without you, and he requests Lakshmi to come back to him. Lakshmi says I am not with you and I am not in your life, and she asks him to love someone else. Shalu tells Barney that their sister has decided not to return to the Oberoi house. Barney says our sister should confess her love to Rishi. Rishi cries and he asks Lakshmi to accept once what is in her heart and says, I know that you love me a lot. Just say it once. He says, I want you, but if you accept your love for me, then it will be my memories and happiness for me. Then I don't need anything else after that. Rishi cried and Lakshmi cries too, and Rishi asks her to accept once that she loves him and says, I want you to say I love you, Rishi. Malishka is furious and she says, why is Lakshmi taking so much time with Rishi in the room? She says she just need 1 minute to feed sweet to Rishi, and Grandma asks me not to doubt them. Karishma says, I don't know why mom orders us to allow Lakshmi to go to Rishi in the room, and Virendra and Ayush too. She says Ayush is Lakshmi's puppet. Malishka asks Karishma to think of how to throw Lakshmi out of the house forever and says if Lakshmi stays with Rishi, then she will become your daughter-in-law again, and then I will not have anything than to die. Neelam asks Malishka to stop talking negative, and she asks her to learn from Lakshmi how to stay positive. Karishma asks Malishka to go and throw Lakshmi out from that room because it is her room, and Malishka goes. Virendra asks Grandma to face Neelam and stop Lakshmi from going back after feeding sweet to Rishi, and Grandma says we have to fight among ourselves. Virendra says to Grandma that I wish Neelam would have realized Lakshmi's goodness. Ayush says Malishka would do drama and she is over dramatic. He says if we convince Neelam, then Malishka will be controlled. Malishka says Grandma should do puja if she wants, and she also says that Lakshmi is their daughter-in-law. She says Lakshmi also went to Rishi and got stuck with him, but now I will throw her out, far away from Rishi. Rishi tells Lakshmi that he will never ask her to confess her love again and he will marry Malishka happily. He says, I want to listen to your love confession because I don't want your love to be incomplete and I will get a reason to live. He asks Lakshmi to say it that she loves him. Lakshmi says everyone will fall in love with you because you are such a person, but you need to go to Malishka. Rishi asks Lakshmi to say I love you, Rishi, and says I just want to hear it from you and I know that you love me a lot, but you are not saying it, and he asks her to say it today. Lakshmi gets emotional and says I always. Rishi asks always. Lakshmi is about to say it, but she stops seeing Malishka at the door. Neelam tells Karishma that they should make sure that nobody support Lakshmi in this house. She says some people just take Lakshmi's name always. Karishma says we should stop mom. Grandma asks that where is Lakshmi? She asks if she is still with Rishi. She asks that where is Malishka, and Karishma says that Malishka went to call Lakshmi. Grandma says to Karishma that I asked you all to leave Rishi and Lakshmi alone for some time. Neelam says that just like you are worried for your daughter Lakshmi, then I am worried for my son too. Grandma says both of them are my children. Neelam says it doesn't look like it and says Lakshmi is inauspicious. Grandma says to Neelam that Lakshmi is not inauspicious. Neelam asks Grandma not to favor Lakshmi and says when the matter is about my son's life and happiness, then I will not keep quiet. Grandma says I am happy that you care for your son's life, but before that, you should know where your son's happiness lies, and it is with Lakshmi. Neelam says to Grandma that she is Rishi's mother and she knows that his happiness is with Malishka. Shalu calls Ayush and asks if everything is fine. Ayush says yes and says I will call you later. Shalu tells Barney that she calls Ayush, but why did he not speak to her? Malishka tells Lakshmi that she has seen everything and she has understood her motive also, so she should not pretend. Malishka says to Lakshmi that you made the sweet fall down, then what are you doing here? Rishi picked the sweet box from the floor. Malishka asks if Lakshmi had come to make Rishi eat sweet or to trap him again. Rishi asks Malishka to behave. Malishka says she is behaving well and she asks Rishi to ask Lakshmi to leave. Malishka says to Lakshmi that you said that you are happy and you want to make Rishi eat sweet. She asks, didn't you say that you are happy that we are going to marry and you wanted us to stay happy? Lakshmi says she wants them to be happy. Malishka says we should be happy and she thanks Lakshmi for the sweet and she hugs Rishi and says we will be happy together always. Malishka is going out of the room and she asks Lakshmi to come. Rishi gets upset with Lakshmi because she did not confess her love for him. Malishka asks Lakshmi to come and she smiles and Lakshmi goes out of the room. Rishi thinks that Lakshmi was about to confess her love for him, but now she is going without saying it. Malishka thinks that she did it and she sent Lakshmi out of the room without making Rishi get angry. She thinks that I have to smartly move and take Lakshmi out from Rishi's clutches. Downstairs, Neelam asks Virendra not to say anything this time and says the matter is about her son. Lakshmi comes downstairs and she touches Grandma and Virendra's feet. She is about to go, but Neelam comes on her way and stops her from leaving. Rishi comes downstairs and he wondered what his mom is up to this time. Alright guys, thank you guys so much for watching. Please don't forget to give this video a like, share it, and I will see you all again in my next video. Bye guys.